Hi friends, it's Brittany, and I just wanted to pop on here and just say a little bit about a really relevant and I think seldom talked about subject, and that is seasonal affective disorder, seasonal depression, whatever kind of name or diagnosis you want to go by. And even if you're not diagnosed, sorry, this keeps moving, I'm sorry, but you do not need a diagnosis to be experiencing these things. A diagnosis comes when you have the ability and resources to seek professional help, and when a professional deems your symptoms severe enough to impact your daily functioning. And not everyone has access to a professional. Not everyone has the ability to get help. And everyone's symptoms are going to be different. Everyone experiences symptoms differently and to different degrees. But what I really wanted to talk about was just that, as we're going into the fall season here, especially living in northern part of the world, I'm in Canada, and I don't know how it is in other places geographically similar, but once summer is over, the days start getting longer in frickin' July. The days just get so dark really quickly, and the time change helps shift that a little bit, but it still gets so dark, and it stays so dark, and it gets so cold, and so you're never outside, you're not getting enough vitamin D, and those things physically have an effect on us, as well as there are so many holidays and occasions in the latter half of the year, and that puts so much pressure on us to be feeling a certain way, to be acting a certain way, to be doing certain things. And for some of us, that's not possible. For some of us, we really do just wish we could hibernate and sleep through these months, because they are hard. And I feel like people don't talk about that enough, and don't talk about it seriously enough. Because I see so many memes and stuff online about oh, here comes my seasonal depression, and when that seasonal depression hits, stuff like that, which I'm in no way saying is a bad thing. Humor is such an important coping mechanism, but I don't think it's talked about seriously enough, that these are actual diagnoses that you can have. I personally have not been diagnosed with seasonal affective disorder. But SAD runs in my family, seasonal affective disorder, and for I don't even know how many years now. It's been so many years of things getting so much worse for me every single year this time of year. And it's a combination for me of less sunlight, colder weather, but also school and the pressure of being in school and trying to maintain a job like I did the last 2 years, or this year, not having a job and feeling like an absolute failure for being unemployed, and the expectations of keeping up with schoolwork. If you've got friends who are in school too, keeping up with them, because I know for me, comparison is a huge issue, and like I see my friends doing so much, and I feel like I'm just falling behind and failing so miserably compared to them. And that feeling pushes me to do more than I really should be doing, and it pushes me to burnout, and that gets me nowhere, because then I'm like, not only am I feeling like I'm not doing enough and feeling like I'm a loser and I'm a failure, but I am actually incapable of even doing as much as I was before, because I'm burnt out, I'm empty, I'm done. So now I'm just focusing on school, but I'm feeling like a failure because I don't have a job, and I should have a job because last year I was able to have a job. But last year I landed myself in the hospital, like technically on 2 separate occasions. So like tangent story time. Like last fall, I was working part-time, and I was going to school with a heavier course load than I can manage. And I don't know why I thought I could manage 4 courses at a time, but I couldn't. But the thing is, I could. September, I was so productive. I was getting so much done. I was working, going to school, staying on top of my homework, getting really good grades. Things were fantastic. And then October hit, and I just started feeling the weight of it all. And so yeah, like fall and winter are really hard. And it was this time of year, 2015, that my eating disorder got to its worst point ever. And it was this time of year, 2013, that I was pushed towards and chose to do day patient treatment in the adolescent eating disorder program. Like, it was like November, December, when I was 12 or something, that my parents divorced. And oh man, it was like, was it 2 years ago? Was it last year? I don't know. This time of year, at one point, within the last year or two, my grandfather passed away. And it's just a rough time of year. And so all of those things are not unique to me. A lot of people struggle with going back to school. A lot of people struggle with not going back to school. A lot of people struggle to find a job after the summer. And shorter days, longer nights, colder temperatures, worse weather, these all have an effect on us. And like, our brain chemistry can be so fragile. And not enough people take that seriously. Not enough people realize that when things start getting bad in the fall and winter, it doesn't matter that, oh, I'm gonna be better in the spring anyway. Like, quality of life just really decreases. And if you've never experienced this, then you are so fortunate. I wouldn't wish this on anyone, but we need to talk about seasonal affective disorder and seasonal depression and seasonal mood changes, because even if it's not to a point where it's a disorder, where it's affecting your everyday life, like, low mood is such a sneaky little bitch, because it worms its way under everything and undermines everything. It's so much more common than people think to feel low in the fall and winter, and there's no shame in that. There is no shame in any mental illness. There shouldn't be. But we need to talk about it more, and we need to normalize conversations like this, and we need to normalize seeing a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a therapist. And medication should be more normalized. It's okay to be on psychiatric medication. It's okay to be on multiple medications. It's okay to rely on medications and therapy. It's okay for every year to be the same story of getting worse, because we can't control that. And we need to not feel like failures for that. Because on the flip side, once you've gone through enough seasons like this, and you've acknowledged how bad things can get, you can start changing things. You can start, like, making preemptive appointments with your doctor or therapist. You can start implementing routine, or, like, adjusting your diet so that you're getting more nutrients and vitamins. And we need to stay on top of our physical health without it just being physical. Because our brain is what makes our bodies work. And if our body starts breaking down, our brain is going to start breaking down. If our brain starts breaking down, our body's going to start breaking down. And it's so interconnected. And we can't ignore how serious this is. And it's okay to not maintain the same level of functioning, the same mood, the same anything all year round. There's a really nice quote that I'm sure everyone is familiar with, and it's like, nothing in nature blooms all year. Because it doesn't. Doing less isn't weak. Doing less isn't a bad thing. Doing less isn't laziness. It's a form of self-care. Reach out. Be patient with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. And don't be afraid to, like, be vulnerable. And if you can show a little bit of compassion towards yourself, that's something. So be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Take care of yourself. It's super important to remember that winter's hard, fall is hard, changing seasons are hard. But just like the seasons change, you will get better again. Things will get better. The days will get brighter and warmer. And if all you can do is just curl up and survive these last months of the year, you're still surviving, and that's still something. And it's something. That's a little bit of what I think we need to be doing. And let me know in the comments if you also struggle with this, or if you know someone who does. Like, use the comment section to, like, share experiences and helpful tips, advice, whatever. Because I'm not going to be able to spew all of the helpful information out there. I can only share my experience. If you've watched this whole thing, then thank you. I hope you find it helpful in some aspect, but yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.